thank you guys for being here today. We had a great game on Saturday, coming off a good home complete game against Texas State. To follow that up with another complete game was pretty rewarding for the kids. And you know, Georgia Southern's record's not very good, but they came in averaging 63 points a game, and so to hold them to 35 points was pretty impressive. We had been talking about it all week in practice, really focusing on our press and making sure that we denied the ball in. We didn't think that they could handle it, and we were right. They couldn't handle it. And another thing that we were real impressed with, throughout the game, every time we subbed, we didn't really have a lot of drop-off. We felt like we had a lot of players step up. Our effort level and our execution was pretty consistent throughout the game. So that was, you know, a great win on Saturday. Moving ahead this week, we have a great opportunity to play the #1 and the #2 team. So that gives us a chance to move up in the standings, head into the conference tournament, kind of see where we're at heading into March. So, any questions?
Two totally different kind of situation. Well, first of all, Little Rock seems so long ago, but y'all handled Arkansas State at home, and Little Rock didn't play well, but that was so long ago. So I mean, is it that just totally a matchup thing, or?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of matchup. I think there was a lot of other things going into that Little Rock game too. You know, there was a lot of circumstances leading into that that happened that, you know, were out of our control. So I think we'll be a little bit more focused, a little bit more prepared this time for that game. And I think we saw some weaknesses that, hey, we need to get better at in that game. And then Arkansas State, I do think we match up well against Arkansas State, probably better than we do against Little Rock. But, you know, last year we beat Arkansas State at home, then we went to their place, last game of the season, same situation as this time, and lost by 30 or 40. So it's going to be, we're going to have to be prepared, and they're coming for us. We beat them, we took one from them over here, so they're coming for us. So we'll have to match their intensity and hopefully, you know, finish off the season with the win, heading to New Orleans.
Where would you guys be right now if you weren't forcing as many turnovers as you forced?
I don't know. You know, hopefully we'd still be where we were. But I think that's our MO. That's what we do, and that's what we do well. And I think if you look at other teams in the conference, you know, if Troy wasn't averaging 80-something points a game, where would they be? That's their strength. So I think our strength is our defense and our pressure defense and our ability to force turnovers. And you see the games where we don't force the turnovers, we're normally not as successful. So going back to Little Rock, we didn't force turnovers against Little Rock. So whereas we did against Arkansas State, so that's going to be important this week.
Coach, you just talked about teams that kind of have an identity, whether it's Troy playing at a fast pace or y'all playing defense. What is, with UALR, with Little Rock, what is their identity, or what do they kind of
defense.
Okay.
They're 5th in the country in scoring defense. They're giving up about 47 points a game right now. That's what, you know, we're striving. We're trying to get to their level. We're giving up about 57 a game, so we still got a little work to do. But they are all about defense. And this year, this is one of his best teams probably since he's been there. Their RPI is 38 as of this morning. They've knocked off LSU and they've knocked off Oklahoma. So you know they're talking about at large. You know they're hoping to win the conference tournament, but there's their RPI is so high, there's a chance they could get an at-large if they don't. So their identity is definitely defense.
If you have the week you're hoping to next week, you'll probably face one, if not both, of these teams. Again, do you kind of tip your hat to what maybe you do the second? Because obviously you have some contingency plans for conference tournament. Do you kind of tinker with some stuff this week to apply later on?
You know, I don't think so. We're not very complicated. If you watch this play, we get after you on defense and on offense. We try to make some shots. You know, so we'll take any shots we can get. I mean, if there's one open shot, we're trying to get it because offense is maybe not our strength. So I think we just do what we do, and then you get in the tournament, and then if you see some things that you need to change up, and when it comes tournament time, I think that's when you make those adjustments.
How would you compare the girls looking forward to this ball game compared to what it was playing Mississippi State?
There's a lot of similarities. I think maybe they're even a little more amped with this team because this is, these juniors and seniors, this is their 5th, 6th time playing these guys, and they know the level that Little Rock is at. They know that's the gold standard in the Sun Belt Conference right now, and they know what they did to us at their place. And if you look, UTA is the only team that swept this year, and our kids would love a chance to play them in the tournament. I think Little Rock's the same way. They know we didn't perform as well as we could have up there, and they're looking forward to another opportunity, so they're excited.
Do they play man-to-man like you guys?
Yes, a little bit different, not as much pressure. They don't press, they don't really get up in the passing lanes, they do a lot more containment.
Well, that's something you guys tend to have success against, is the zone.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think looked the other day at some of their statistics. I think they played zone like 0.02% the entire year. So that's something, we're looking forward to that.
So it's more y'all pressure and get a lot of turnovers in transition, and they are just a great half-court.
Great half-court team. They play a lot like that pack line. If you look at what Tony Bennett's doing in Virginia, they play very, very similar to that. And I think Virginia men lead the nation in scoring defense, and that's exactly how they play. They just say, hey, we're going to protect the goal, maybe adjust some things according to each team, but they won't press us. Even when they're down, they don't press us. They're not looking to cause turnovers, but they're so good at positioning sometimes that end up happening anyway in the half court.
Would you prefer to be in a lower scoring game?
I think so, absolutely. Absolutely. If you look at Troy, and I'm sorry, I misspoke, Troy swept this as well. But if you look at both of those games, Georgia Southern scored 92 against Troy 2 weeks ago, and then we held them to 35. So those times, it just goes to show you that you can force teams to play the way you want to play. Like we made Georgia Southern play our style and not Troy's style.
How important is it to win one or both of these games going in the conference tournament, or is it more still this late how you play, or how important momentum-wise?
I think it's important both ways. It's important, number one, because you want to finish as high as you can. Our first year here we finished 11th in the conference. Last year we finished 7th. So it's important for us to finish as high as we can. I think the first, second, and third slots are already locked up, but we have if we take care of business, we have a chance to finish 4th. So as far as program building and where we want to be, that's a great opportunity. And in the same token, you always want to go into the conference tournament playing your best, feeling good about yourselves, feeling confident, and so both of these games will be important for us on both of those aspects, I think.
Coach, it seems your only senior on this team, Robbie Brown, with her playing her last home game. It seems like she has a personality. She does a good job of not getting too up or too down. She's been pretty consistent. Could you talk about maybe rubbing off on, or just her personality, or how she kind of interacts with some of the other guards?
Yeah, she's pretty steady. She's very steady. She's consistent. And this is, we're excited for her this senior night. I failed to mention that at the beginning, but she's been here 4 years. She's a 4-year senior. She's been through a lot. So to have an opportunity to finish off her senior year is pretty, the way that we're hoping to is pretty incredible. But she's very balanced. She's a selfless player. It's not about her. And, if you look at her, she plays both sides of the court, offensively, defensively, and you can count on her. Saturday, or really throughout, anytime we get in foul trouble and stuff and we have to pull one of the 3 starters, she's very steady, and she knows her job and she does it well. And you need, you got to have kids like that to be successful.
It seemed like Saturday y'all did a good job of not getting into foul trouble. I think in the first half you had like 1 team foul with like 2 minutes left in the
Right, we finished with 1 team foul.
Yeah. Was there any reason for that, or is there any key to that?
I think it's just, being positioning. I tell the kids all the time, you negate hustle and you negate good defense when you foul. UConn is the #1 team in the country, and they also lead the country in the least amount of fouls. They don't foul. They play position defense. They get where they're supposed to be, and that's what we want our players to do. So it's something that we talk about, and they did a tremendous job. His first game all year, Kiki Bill didn't have any fouls. She finished the game with 0 fouls.
Is it harder to duplicate that against UALR? Is that kind of a?
I don't think so. I think that it's up to the kids. If they get themselves in positions and work hard and we execute what we're supposed to and play hard, then we can do it again.
Do teams try to press them? Have you?
Yes, not as much. Not as much. Us. We certainly will. We tried it a little bit at their place. It wasn't as effective, but I think there's some things that we need to do differently. And our press as a whole wasn't as effective at that point in the season. So that was our first conference game, and here we are, second, the last conference game. So it's really 2 different teams. So we'll try to get after them and hopefully try to speed up the game that way.
Anything else, guys?
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.